Nicholas Delandy, and I am making my second interview for Comms 2040 interview class. This interview is an administrative investigation interview. I will be interviewing my father, Darren Delandy. This interview will be viewed by myself, my father, and my professor. After the interview is graded, it will be deleted. Alright, so let's begin. Hi, Darren. My name is Nicholas Delandy.
Hi, Nick. How are you today?
I am the Human Resource Representative of the Department of Taxation. So how are you doing today?
Was doing pretty good. How about now? Gotta come down here. Usually when I come down here, you're in trouble, so a little worried.
You don't have to worry. I just have a few questions to ask you. It'll be short. Do you have any plans for the weekend?
Right now, not really. House is messy. I want to clean the house and maybe clean my car. That's about it. Do some relaxing. I've been tired the last couple of weeks. So, big couch potato, I think.
You're not gonna watch the Ohio State game this weekend?
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. Yeah. Northwestern, 8 o'clock, I think, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely watch that one. Hopefully, win. Hopefully, we can maybe make the playoffs. Who knows? Yeah, but I forgot all about that this weekend. I'll be watching. I think there's some other playoff games, or not playoff games, conference championship games this weekend. I'll be watching. So yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. You think if they win that, they'll make the playoffs?
They got a shot, but I don't think so. I really don't. I think. Well, if Oklahoma loses, they can get in, but I don't think Oklahoma's going to lose. So slim. I hope, but I doubt it.
You think they would have a chance of winning it all if they made the playoffs?
No. I think Alabama's a wrecking force. I don't think they'll beat them. What do you think?
I don't think they'd be able to win either. I haven't hope them to win it all. So, okay, are you ready to get started?
I guess. See what's going on.
Alright, so the reason I have you here today is I have been notified of a possible rule, regulation, or policy violation. So, when something like this is brought to my attention, I am required to do an investigation to see if there was a violation, the severity of the violation, and any recourse if necessary. We've had similar violations, and I had to investigate these too. Therefore, I actually have some written down questions I used when a similar circumstance happened. These questions are the same I would ask anyone else being investigated for the same circumstances. So you are being interviewed as a part of an administrative investigation. The investigation may result in disciplinary action being taken against you. You are being advised to cooperate with the investigation and answer all the questions in an honest and forthright manner. If you provide any false, incomplete, or misleading information during the course of the investigation and its related questioning, you may face separate and/or additional disciplinary actions. Do you understand? Alright, so during the investigation, I'll be writing down all your answers that you give me. There may be at times because I am slow and sloppy writer, I may actually slow down, repeat the answer, and even explain better if I should fall behind. The answers given will be used in my determination of the event. I just want to make sure I capture your answers correctly and precisely, so there can be no confusion on my end when I present the facts to my supervisor. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so let's start with some questions. What is your current position?
I am a tax examiner associate. Basically,
Alright. So how long have you been with the Department of Taxation?
I started in May of 2016. So, what's that? Just a little over 2.5 years.
What department do you work in?
I work in the business compliance division.
Uh, what are some of your present duties?
I deal with business taxes. I audit them. I make sure they're compliant, make sure they're being paid, make sure they're being filed on time. I specifically look at Ohio state tax. I look at school district tax, sales tax, corporate finance tax, cat tax, and our program use taxes. Basically, I deal with correspondence. People send in, we have problems, we send them a letter saying we need more information or have questions about what they filed. They send correspondence in, I work those. I also probably 20% of my day, 25% of my day, we help out the TPS division on the phones. We got a new computer, you know about the new computer system we got in July, and we still have a lot of phone calls from taxpayers having problems logging on, navigating through the system. So about a quarter of the time I'm on the phones helping taxpayers with iBusiness Gateway and trying to help them navigate the system, do their taxes, make sure they're compliant, and ask any questions about it.
Give me 1 second. All right. So who is your immediate supervisor?
Right now, for the last 3 weeks, I've had Loretta Gregory. Before that, my whole time, I had Richard Dahlman. And actually, I think they're getting ready to rotate the supervisors again, and probably get a new supervisor in the next couple weeks.
You said who was your supervisor before this one?
Richard Dahlman.
Yeah, but they do like to cross train supervisors, don't they?
Too much. They do it all the time. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, get everyone to learn different taxes, but boy, you get accustomed to the way one supervisor wants things done, and you get used to it, and then the next thing you know, you have another one that tweaks it or wants something different. It's just hard to keep up with when everyone does everything a little bit different.
Yeah.
It can be rough at times.
Yeah, I agree. So are you aware of the department policies pertaining to moonlighting or working outside employment?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is your understanding of the policy?
I know that you're not allowed preparing taxes for anyone else. You're not allowed, obviously, working for a CPA firm or an outside tax preparer. They strictly prohibit that. I know they frown on a lot of working for financial institutions, banks, or lending places, mainly because we deal with a lot of confidential taxpayer information. We deal with their social security number, addresses, birth dates. Some of them, when they make payments, they send in copies of checks, routing numbers, bank accounts. Sometimes even send copies of credit cards. I know financial institutions are frowned upon. I know they obviously don't want us to work for another job that will take us away from our job. If we go to work, both jobs require us to work Friday morning. They don't want us to work that job because we'll have to come off and do our job. And the biggest one is kind of ties to all of them is they don't the conflict of interest. Obviously, if see someone's taxes and got to review them all the time, they obviously don't want me working for them because I think they're more worried about a dishonest employee that can manipulate the taxes around. So I know that's the biggest parts of it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that was a major point. So I made a copy of the policy, ODT, for you to have. Here it is right here.
Thank you.
The policy refers to the outside employment. I would recommend you, when you have some free time or whenever you can, to review the policy again to get a better understanding. It talks about other things that may hinder obtaining another job.
Okay, I'll take a look at this when I get a chance.
All right, that sounds good. Do you happen to have access to Trax?
Yes, I do. I know we got to get on Trax to submit time for each week, and request time off. So yes, I do have access.
Alright. So every year in January, the department updates and makes changes to their policies. At this time, our employees are required to log into Trax, review the policies, and sign off that you understand the policy. Do you recall reviewing and signing off on the policy that you understand it?
Yes and no. I'm sure I did. I know, like you said, in January they send a whole bunch of revamped policies. There's dozens of them, and I know internal audit and our supervisor sent them to us to review them and sign off on them. Like I said, I'm sure I did it. When I did it, I couldn't answer you that, but like I said, we get so many of them to do. It's hard to tell. But if we don't, they hound us, so I'm sure I did it.
So on January 12, 2018, you signed off that you read and understood the policy ODT. So here's a copy of that. Your electronic signature on there. We have a copy of your signature from your Trax every time you completely review a policy. We place a copy of your signature in your permanent employee file and keep it on record for you. We use this for circumstances like this.
Okay.
Alright. So do you happen to have access to SharePoint?
Yes.
Okay.
We use that for AG memos and
yes. Okay.
Sometimes I have to reissue refund checks or cancel them. You go on SharePoint to update those checks. So
yeah,
I do have access.
All right. So here is a copy of the update internal audit made this year to the policy. This is for you. It basically requires anyone wanting to work a second job to log into SharePoint and fill out a request to work another job. So the application is reviewed by the internal audit team, and they have the power to allow it or deny it for your request to work outside the agency. Have you ever filed out a request and submitted to internal audit before?
No, I have not.
No. Okay. Did you recently apply for a tax examiner position in the audit division on October 18th?
Yeah, I recently did. I don't know the exact date when I did it, but it was sometime around that time frame.
So I have a copy of the application submitted on October 18th. Go ahead and take a look at it. Is this your application you submitted for us?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
good. All right. So during this application screening process, we noticed that you stated you work for H&R Block on your job listing. It's on section 2, page 2. Yep. Do you see where you list that at?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. What are the dates shown on that?
May 2016 to present.
Said May what? Can you repeat that for me,
May
please?
2016
All right.
to present.
Okay, I got that. All right, thank you. So this would be a conflict of interest and would be prohibited by the Ohio Department of Taxation policy for outside employment. Are you still employed at this time by H&R Block? No. Okay. So are you stating that you're not employed by the company? Application is wrong.
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. All right. So this could be considered a falsifying application along with a government document. Most employees would terminate an employee for this, and you could possibly be terminated by your department. So are you confirming that you lied on your application?
No, I will not say I lied. I think of lying as a willful intent to deceive. And this was by no means any willful intent. This was strictly an honest mistake.
An honest mistake.
Yes, sir.
So can you explain why you view this as an honest mistake?
Well, when I graduated from Capital University in 2015,
All right.
and I started doing my job search one of the primary places I looked at was government and state jobs. When you go onto those, they actually post them on high means jobs, and you log on. Well, actually, you get on it and you create an account because there's so many jobs and you apply for so many. You create an account where you fill out an application, it saves it, and then you actually attach your resume to it. So every time you apply for a state job, you can just post it. So you can apply for multiple in one quick setting instead of filling it out every time. So I did that. April, they called me, told me I was having a job. I was going to start in May. That was in 2016. They told me obviously I couldn't work for a blog company, so I actually quit then. And I've been working here since May, like I said. And not too long ago, middle of this year, I ended up getting off probation, my starting probation, and I actually got enough experience and education that I actually met the prerequisites for the tax examiner job in our division. So at that point, since I qualified for it, then I actually applied. And this is where I say an honest mistake. I went in and I logged back into the high means jobs, pulled out my profile, and applied for the job. Call it lazy or just overlooking something, whatever you want. When I applied, I just went ahead and applied. I did not even think about changing, updating my job, my employee. That's when I say it was an honest mistake. Totally forgot about it. Totally slipped my mind. So when I applied, it made it look like I was still there, but I haven't been. I said it was an honest mistake. I didn't mean for it to happen. I hope it doesn't affect me here because I love my job and I like working here. And obviously, there's a ton of advancement here. I like to stay here.
Yeah. Nice. Let me write them down. Alright. So you say you quit H&R Block. Do you remember when?
I can't give you the exact date, but it was in April. I actually, if I remember correctly, it was on the due date for taxes. So August, the due date's August, or I'm sorry, no, the due date's April 15th, so it would have been probably on April 15th.
Alright. Alright, so I think I got all the information I need. That's all the questions I have for you. Do you happen to have any further questions you need answered?
Just a quick one.
Alright.
It's Christmas time right now, and I got a little carried away and I spent a lot of money this year. And I was debating about when after the holidays going and getting a part-time job, just at Walmart, working 20 hours a week to build my bank account back up. For a Walmart job, just being like a stock boy or something like that, do I just have to go on SharePoint for that also?
Yeah, so if you look up at the updated, it specifically states any employment needs to be submitted as SharePoint.
Okay.
So it does not matter if it's a CPA firm, Walmart, even a pet store.
Okay, I see it now. Thank you.
Alright.
I'll make sure I do it if I decide to.
Alright. So I thank you for being honest. I told you this would be painless. If you want to tell me everything is correct, you should have no worries. I have to run into circumstances more than once. However, I do have to do my diligence. I will get with the IRS to verify your W-2s and your 1099s to confirm that there was no income received from H&R Block during employment. I'll also reach out, call, and confirm. Again, if everything checks out, everything will be okay. I do recommend that you log back into your profile on High Means Jobs and update your employment history.
I'll do that as soon as I get a chance.
Alright. So what I need you to do now is review my questions and the answers I wrote down. So please make sure I have written them correctly, accurately, in the way that you responded. If you cannot read them, ask me to read it for you. Trust me, I know I have very bad handwriting. Um, if you need to make changes or corrections, I will address your responses for you. If everything looks okay, please sign and initial at the bottom right side of the page. And on the last page, there's a brief paragraph stating you read and verified my responses and that you are aware you may not retaliate against anyone from coming forward about this situation. Any action or retaliation regarding this matter may result in additional disciplinary action. After you sign and acknowledge, I will make a copy for your personal record. So, okay, go ahead and sign and initial if everything's correct.
Okay. I can't handwrite it. You want me to sign and initial this page?
Yes, please. All right. So that's all we got. So Darren, I hope you have a great weekend. Like I said, if everything checks out with what you stated, everything will be fine. You're a great asset to the team, and I'm glad you were on board with that. Thank you.
Thank you.